All right. We're back. We're going to restart. We just had a little hiccup. Um, happens. It's a live show, but we'll get back with Joline. This will be part two of the Howard Experience Show today, session number 9. If you're going to be tuning into this later, or you're getting in the show now, I'm going to look for Joline real quick. Make sure she comes in and test my sound. We had a great having a great conversation so far on how things are happening with her and the different things actually provides as part of a component on beating these different types of ailments. And nutrition plays a part. Some of this technology plays a part, as well as your mental state is very important. And those are kind of the messages that are worth sharing. The stories worth telling. And not only here today in this on this platform in this particular conversation we're having with her, but you watching this and talking to others and getting that, making that like a snowball and get the information out, because you don't necessarily always have to go to the places that are frequented, and a lot of those are the path of medicine and surgery that you may need. Let's not rule that out. Sometimes those things need to happen, but there is also another path that you take, and it's not easy. A lot of these things that Jolin's talking about, the nutrition side, the machines themselves, they cost money as well. But it's also now that we're talking about it, she's a perfect example that it can happen, it can work, and I think that's the bigger message today that I'd like the viewers to definitely hold on to and talk about in their particular circles of influence, barbecues, what have you, that these things do happen, and it definitely takes these different components and work. It doesn't happen just like you know, this doesn't go poof. Everything's
No,
cool.
it's really not free. Um,
Yeah.
you're right. And I'm sorry that we dropped off. I don't know what happened. Um, but I can say this though, and I don't know the exact year that this study came out, but there is a study that it says that, and I think this is um, the Cancer Institute, that 70% of cancers would be prevented with nutrition. And
Wow.
so, if there's any kind of advice I could give, whether you're deciding to go the the route of chemo radiation surgery, or you're planning to go natural, or you don't have a diagnosis, because nobody wants one. And to be real, and it is a real, a thing, the cancer rate is 1 in 2, or one
Wow.
in three. I think it's 1 in 2 in men and 1 in 3 in women, or it could be flip flopped. But if you're in a room full of people, count the people.
Yeah.
Half of them, or a third of them, are going to have a diagnosis in their lifetime.
Have some
And
form of cancer. Yep. Yep.
right, and I think you could be in a room full of people and ask, I've been in many, many rooms and asked, how many of you have a loved one or know somebody personally that has dealt with cancer or is dealing with cancer? And every hand in the room is up. And
Yeah.
so, and I want to make this clear, it's not just cancer, because cancer is one of the big things, but it's anything that prevents you from living life to the fullest, with the full quality of life, health, and vitality. That you can do your part and prevent it, and build your body strong. Like I said, whether you're already in that and you're going down the route of chemo and radiation, or if you know or choosing not to do that, or you want to stay away from that. Nutrition, I mean,
Yeah.
get some living food in your body. Good nutrition, good supplements. And I do say organic, and whatever the controversy, I rather err on the side of what they say is best, and so I do say organic. um and so get some good organic fruits and vegetables in your body. And if you can't get all organic, at least get the dirty dozen inorganic. And then aside from that, good supplements. And I know that there's a controversy about supplements too, but I do believe that you can't physically eat all the nutrition your body needs to run. And so, get some good supplements. And I'm not talking about, just go to any store and look on the shelf and be like, need me some omegas. Boom, I'll pick that one. There is a difference between good supplements and not so great supplements. And if you're going to spend your money, spend it on the ones that are quality, that have been tested. And again, if you need help with that, private message me. I'll be happy to share the supplement companies that I use for specific things. And then detoxification. You have to clean your system out. You have to clean out your cells, because no matter how clean you eat, everyone is ingesting toxins from, air pollution, and toxic people. Get rid of them too, detoxify yourself from toxic people. And you know who they are. And so
just cut them out.
Yes, cut them all out. So it's not just toxins in your body, it's your toxic surrounding,
Let's focus in on that. What do you mean? You and I know what that is, getting toxic people out of your system. But let's say the new person that's like, what are they talking about? What exactly do you think that's? And we don't want to get into the part of, literally take them off your phone. We're not. Just the example of what type of personality that is.
Right. Well, okay. So I'll just try and keep this basic and obviously use common sense, right? So we're all energy, right? I mean, every cell it vibrates at a certain energy. I mean, you are a ball of energy, right? When your energy is cut off, you're dead.
Yeah.
Right. That's just the way cells work. And you can go look it up yourself on frequency of cells and things like that. And you can feel people's energy. So first I say, do a check on yourself. What's my energy like? Yeah. Do I bring energy to the table, or do I suck the life out of people? Right. And you can feel that, because if somebody can walk in the room. I have a lot of friends, they walk in the room and it's like, whoa, everybody gravitates towards them. Yeah. But if you check their energy level, they're high energy people. They just, we call them charisma, they have a lot of charisma, right? But there's just something that draws people to them. And then there's those that you're around and you don't even have to really know them, but you can feel them pulling you down and sucking the life out of you. Yeah. And so I think we can feel it. So if you feel like you're around people where you're like, if you leave their space and you just feel like sucked dry, like, man, I'm tired, right?
What the heck was that all about?
It's probably a clue that they're energy suckers. And it's real. Wow. It sounds kind of weird, but if you start to really dig in the science of energy in your cells and how we, the relationships with each other, I'm reading this book and I made my daughter read it. It's called How Full Is Your Bucket? And so again, it talks about that. It talks about being around people who drain your bucket. So one is spend little time with those that drain your energy, because they probably are toxic. Usually now I'm not saying you can't help people who have problems, because people will bring problems and things to the table, and they need love and counsel and prayer and all of that. But at the same time, if you're going to be around people and they tell you their problems and all they talk about is their problems and their problems and their problems.
Wow.
Yes. So run. I said, run. Okay. And so I really protect my environment. And that's my kids. I protect my kids, and so people who bring you stress, that's toxic. Stress is toxic, and you can be on great supplements. You can eat great food. You can do all these modalities. You can exercise. Stress trumps it all. Stress will knock them all out and say, no, I'm taking you down. And so people who bring you stress, they're toxic. Now I know that a lot of times people have these people in their family, right? So how do you get away from that? you don't just totally cut them off like you said, where you you know, delete them from your phone or whatever. But I would, for me personally, when I encountered this diagnosis, I was very protective of my space and my stress level. And I had no problem speaking my truth about that. And so if someone came into my space and they were bringing stress and I could feel it, or they started to say things that are toxic thoughts, like, what do you mean you're not going to do this or do that? You're going to die, you know?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you
You're
know,
crazy. You're the
yeah,
crazy person.
you don't have enough money. You don't have enough, you know, this, you
You
don't have
can't
enough that.
you can't do that. You can't do that.
Right, right. And I really had to protect my mind, because if you want to win anything, you have to win
Yeah.
it in your mind first, right?
Oh yeah.
So I
Yes.
I had no problem saying, oh, thank you, but no thank you. And I learned how to let it go in one ear and out the other. And as soon as they were gone, I said a prayer. And it was like, you know, Lord, protect my head, protect my space from these people who just don't believe, right? Or who are trying to drag me down, because the enemy is real.
Yeah.
And he will do everything possible to bring you down, right? And he goes in through your own family sometimes,
Yeah.
and friends. And so and I had no problem saying, even to my kids, like, okay, I'm not going to accept that stressful situation. Please turn around, go outside, come back in, and tell me when you have a solution or something, you know, great and uplifting. And so it was a little game that I played with my own self. And so yeah, so I would say toxic people, toxic thoughts. It could be your own thoughts. Man, people have some toxic thoughts. I mean, like,
I bet.
doom and gloom. Like, what is God doing to me? Like, everyone hates me. Nothing goes right. It's like, yeah, no, let's change that around.
Yeah.
You know, everything goes great, and I'm happy and grateful for the situation I'm in. I'm grateful for, you know, I'll have my kids complain about, I don't know, I don't know, maybe they don't have the latest and greatest of something.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
one of my kids is saying, I mean, obviously we have a lot of kids, right? And we don't have enough bedrooms. And so one of my kids says, Mom, I wish we had a bigger house. I want to be rich so I could have a big house. And I said, you know what? I'm so glad we have a house,
Yeah.
and really teaching them, like, do you have a house? Do you have, you know what I mean? Just things like that, and turning it around. So
Being
I'm,
grateful, being
yeah,
thankful.
being grateful. I had my
Yeah.
daughter ask me yesterday, matter of fact, she said, Mom, how do you be joyful? And she said, can you be joyful if you want to be joyful?
Yeah.
And I, absolutely. You can be joyful. You have to choose to be joyful. And she said,
Yeah.
well, how do you do that? And I said, well, first thing is you have to be grateful for everything that comes your way, good or bad.
Yeah.
For this diagnosis, I was grateful. I mean, to this day, I'm grateful, that I went through what I went through. Would I wish it upon anybody else? Nope. Would I ever want to do it again? Nope.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for the situation I'm in at the moment, and just, try to trust that God has the ultimate plan. So the simple answer that I told my 8-year-old is, you can first choose to be joyful. And, when you walk in, there's a great author and trainer, his name is Brendan Bouchard. And, one of the things that he says is, when he walks into a room, one of his triggers is a door frame. And when he walks through a door frame, it reminds him to say, bring on the joy. I'm going to bring on the joy to this room and everybody that's in it. And
Wow.
so I just try to remember things like that. Am I always joyful? No, you heard me say that my attitude was sour on August 10th,
Yeah. You're
But
human.
and when I'm not so joyful or so happy, I've surrounded myself with a group of friends and family that I can call at any moment's notice and say, listen, my head's not, in a great place.
Yeah.
Can I just dump on you? And
Yeah.
that's the thing, is I dump on people too, and people are going to dump on you, but I like to ask for permission. Can I dump on you? and you just helped me get through this. And so I did that, you know, last month. I called my friend Robin, and she's just a ball of joy. I mean, like, she's one of those people that walk in the room and you know, everybody just like gravitates to her. And I called her up and I said, okay, can I dump on you? You know, I'm in a not so great situation in my mind, and I'm just, you know, overwhelmed, and I'm sitting at my desk, and all I want to do is just crawl into this little hole and like say, everyone leave me alone. But I can't do that. Not when you have.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Yes. And so I try to read. I'm a self-help junkie. I'll be honest. I love podcasts. I love books. I love Audible. I love things that really fill my mind with growth, a growth mindset. I have you know, I have this calendar that's sitting right in front of me. It's already, you know, it's no longer usable, but I have it on my desk because it says, God is preparing you for greater things. And it just helps to remind me that there is a plan. And sometimes the mundane things of everyday life is part of that plan. And you can use those things to fulfill your calling. And so anyways.
That may be some of the things that people miss on a daily basis, is these, as you described, the mundane signs that happen that actually lead up to bigger events. Because I think with how people think and the media they're ingesting through their phones and TVs and everywhere you go, that they're looking for that one big moment that's supposed to happen. And it's like, okay, it's going to happen right now. You know,
right.
No. That's make believe. In the truth, in the real world, it takes. You've been on this journey for what, 2.5 years already, and you know, that's a long. You know, that is not easy, folks. These things that she's talking about, it's definitely weights that she was carrying. But again, you know, let's not dwell on what happened. Let's see what's happening now. And what's happening now is Joline's coming out and telling the stories and giving us great information to better ourselves. But at the end of the day, also, you, the watcher, have to make that decision. It's a choice, like you said about different time of feelings. It's a choice to take this good information, technology that may be available to you, and putting it into action and you know, telling your story to others and affecting. It's like I've always used this ripple effect to explain some of the things when you're freeing your mind. It starts with a drop, and from there it's just gonna ripple out and hopefully hit all these other parts in your circle of influence, and these people will pick that energy up and go, hey, you know, let's try this. It's not gonna be everybody. But
I think there's a book, James. I have it in my home office. I think it's called The Ripple Effect. It may be by Darren Hardy. I'm not sure if that's the author, but it is called The Ripple Effect, I believe. And so you're absolutely right. There's a whole book on it, you know. But yeah, you're absolutely you're right. And honestly, just to back up a little bit, when we talked about, you said 2.5 years was a long journey. This compared to what? It's perspective, right? So when I got out of the country, I was with a gal that she had been battling her cancer naturally for 9 years. 9 years. And she was like, she came to this and she said, if this doesn't work for me, I don't know what will. And, you know, we talked about it, and she, God bless her, she really, you know, whenever you think you got it bad, you just find somebody has it, you know, worse. Somebody has it better. So, so anyway, she had been battling her cancer for 9 years, and it was in an area that I'm glad mine was in my nasal, you know, pharynx. And so, you know, she really was a testament to me, because she continued and she persisted, and endurance. Talk about endurance. 9 years, and
you didn't give up.
No.
Amazing.
And sometimes I'd look at her and she, you know, and the things that I could do, I was still walking around and running around like a regular person, that nothing was wrong with me. You know, people would even say, gosh, you don't look like there's anything wrong with you. I'm like, I know, I don't even feel that way either. But she was really struggling physically. There was two ladies I was there with, and both of them were struggling physically. And I was so grateful that, you know, I was where I was. And so it's perspective on, you know, if we have it bad, if we were all to put you've heard that, right? You put your problems in a pile and you pick someone else's problems. You're like, yep, I'd like mine back, please.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
anyways.
to each his own. You know, everybody has their own battle. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
has their own battle, and to some it may look small, but to that person it may be huge. And I think if you're going to take anything from today is realizing those different facts. Excuse me, is realizing also in your circle of life, you know, the people around you may have similar thoughts, and it's better to communicate, to share. It's a path that'll move you forward versus going backwards or dwelling on something that really is not going to do you any justice. The justice, the healing part is moving forward, you know, taking all these things as lessons and going, yeah, you know, it was like this, but this is what I did. There was no nonsense about it, and this is where I'm at now, and that's a victory, and we just need to continue to move forward, and to also at the same time use this as a moment in other people's lives, and to share that information like we had discussed originally. For, you know, this is kind of what the show is going to develop today, is sending that message. And we're, you know, Joline, that on another video cast, or we're talking about maybe doing something on her side. We'll have that second letter, you know,
Yeah.
ready to talk about. So, you know, viewers, be aware that these conversations that we're having are already looking at, you know, there's going to be another venue, maybe from Joline's page, and other things to talk about to kind of keep you tuned in. And there's still things that you're doing. There's others that are going to chime in too now, and maybe you have a story. Maybe you have something that you want to share with everybody. Guess what? You know, not only can you get information from Joline, but you can also send me some messages, and we can get that word out to those that want to, you know, do something like this. You know, Joline's not uh, TV personality or those things. You got to admit you were a little bit nervous before we started today, right? That was
Oh,
kind of
sure,
that
sure.
was the feeling.
Uh, um,
But it's all done now,
yeah,
and she's doing great, and I think we're definitely on message. We're where we need to be, uh, because you know what's happening is there's a flow, and it's for a good reason. It's for a good reason, because you know she's a great person, and I hope you guys can see this message today on what's happening, and share this with as many people as possible. And if you don't want to do that, at least do it for yourself.
yes, definitely. Because your family, your family deserves you, and your friends deserve you. And so do the small things. You know, it's don't wait till something, you know, don't wait till it's too late, or not that it's too late. It's never too late because you're, you know, dead and knocked over, but don't wait, you know, for something huge. There's a study by Duke University, I think it's Duke, that for every dollar that you spend now in health prevention saves you $7 on the back end on trying to reclaim, you know, your health. And I like to say that your health is your first wealth, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So you do need wealth for your health, you know, so they kind of go hand in hand. So yeah, don't wait until you have a diagnosis. Don't wait until you're in pain, because
yeah,
it's long before then that something already started. Do whatever you can now. And I tell people, do small things. I mean, like, you know, like with the lymphatic, jump up and down, skin brush, add some
yeah,
lemon to your water, eat an avocado, um, you know, cut off the sugar. If you're a sugar lover, you know, I would say at my house, my parents have some coffee with their sugar,
yeah.
and it's like you
Yes.
gotta go like that. And so, but you know, cut a teaspoon out. You know, if you put 3 teaspoons, go down to 2.5, go down to 2. So it's all everything in moderation. Someone today we were talking about health, and she said, yeah, I'm at the store buying a Reese's Pieces, but I don't do this all the time. And I was like, okay,
What are you doing?
moderation, right? So, and right now I do allow myself to indulge a little, whereas before I wouldn't,
Yeah.
I mean, lemon juice was my salad dressing. And so now I'm a little bit more lenient, but I will say I became a little too lenient, and I test my pH on a weekly basis. And sometimes I'll do it days, for several days. And a couple weeks ago, when I tested my pH, I went out of town. And when you go out of town, it's really hard to continue your lifestyle. And I was not happy with my pH. And so if you're not familiar with pH, you can buy these pH strips. It's the alkalinity of your body.
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool thing. If you go to Google now, like if you go to I don't know, on my computer, I do Google Chrome. And you know how they always do those fun, what do you call that? The word Google will come up, and then it has a fun, based on whatever, maybe there's a certain holiday, they'll do like a little, something cool with the word, with the animation with the word Google, right? Kid you not, I don't know if it's still on there, but today, do you know what it was? If you click on the picture, it was about pH.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was about pH. So pH, there's acidic. You have an acidic body, you have an alkaline body, and what you want is an alkaline body. And so I test my pH. I buy pH strips. You can pee in a cup and test it with a pee strip, or you can spit on a spoon and test it, with your saliva. It depends on what kind of pH strips you buy. And it comes with colors. And basically, you want your pH to be above 7, right? Anything less than 7, you're more on the acidic side. And the way your body works is disease thrives in an acidic body. Disease does not thrive in an oxygenated alkaline body.
Body, okay.
Yeah, so I really pay attention to what my pH is, and anytime it falls below 7, I panic. I'm not panicked like I get worried, but it's like, oh no, okay, cut everything. I'm back to, square one. And that was my alkalinity the other day. The last week was like between 6 and 6.5, which was really bad in my opinion. When I first was on cancer when I first got diagnosed, my pH was like 5 to 5.5, which was really bad. And it takes time to build it up to, even though you start doing good today and you do good tomorrow and you do good the next day, it doesn't just overnight, because you put some alkaline things in your body, turn, non-acidic. But so I said to my husband, as soon as we got home and I tested that, I was like, I cut everything. I'm not, go to the store, buy bunches of vegetables. I want some juicing going on. I pay my 8-year-old little daughter to juice for me. And
nice.
when she juices for me, the first day she did it, and I told her I would pay her. The first day she did it, she was like, okay, that'll be $5. I'm like, I'm not paying you $5 a day. $5. So she was telling me I owed her $10. And I said, why do I owe you $10? She said, because I juiced for you for 2 days. I said, no, the going rate is not $5 a day.
Is she keeping her ledger of all these transactions?
I told her I'd pay her $1 a day. She said, oh, that's fine. But first thing in the morning I woke up, I had greens.
Nice.
In the middle of the day, I had greens all throughout the day, before eating, your first thing when I woke up, before eating lunch, before eating dinner, right before bed. And then you also, it's not just about putting good things in, you have to also not take in those bad things. So I also made sure I ate anything that was acidic. And so, and I already do the alkaline water and all of that, but so I stayed strict, and I tested my pH yesterday, and I was back to happy. I was between 7.5, and it pays off. But it's total concentration and focus. And so what that means is there's no moderation of anything. You just you cut everything that's acidic.
You're disciplined.
So, yes, and you know
very
what?
disciplined.
To me, in the very beginning, when I'm a meat eater. I used to like to really eat meat, and maybe in Guam that's what you eat. You eat rice and meat, right? And so,
basically.
My brother said, "What do people eat if they don't eat rice with their meat?" And I said, "Jose, they got potatoes, they got mac and cheese, they got vegetables, right?" And so he was like, I said,
potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes, not mainly vegetables. And so anyways, when I, decided I was not going to eat meat for a while, I do now, but I make sure it's grass fed.
Yeah.
So 10 months, I didn't eat meat. I was raw vegan for 10 months until I found a naturopath that said, no, you need meat, but you need a good source of it. And you can only eat small amounts. So just very small amounts, grass fed. And now I don't even crave for it, but I allow myself to have it when I want it.
Grass fed, no steroids.
Exactly. No steroids, no antibiotics, no, and not grass fed, grain finished, just pure grass fed.
Yeah.
But anyway, my husband said to me in the very beginning, because when I would go to my family and they were cooking, they cook all their stuff and none of it. I mean, there's no, the only vegetables that are there are the
eggplant, girl.
vegetables. Can I just say that? There are no vegetables. So I would bring my own vegetables, and my sister would say, I'm sorry that you have to eat like that, and I'm sorry you can't eat with this. And I said, I'm not sorry. This is what I'm choosing. And my husband said one day when we were driving, he said, Joline, if there's anyone that can be disciplined enough to do what you need to do, not eat those things that you can't and shouldn't, and eat the things that you should, it's you.
Yeah.
And I think you're wrong. I said, because when you want to live as bad as I want to live, anybody will do what's necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it takes a special person. It's, it's your why and how bad do you want it, right? So.
Exactly. Well, you took the situation that you were in, and you did a 180, and you understood it. Obviously, you went through the human emotions and did those things, but again, the result today. You're here. You're here. You're here.
And I meat that, and I didn't want those. I mean, I still haven't brought myself to, eating a piece of candy. And if I want chips, I'll take a couple of bites of a chip.
Right.
I love crackers, and so I'm a grazer. Gone away. There are a lot of things that I loved, and now I just kind of look at from afar. And if I see my kids eating it, I'll say, "Can I have a bite?" And I'll have, and they keep me on check too, though, because when I have a bite, they'll say, "Mom, you can't have that," and I'll say, "I can have a bite." So.
Great, and again, folks, if you're watching this now or tuning in later, you can get all this information. That's another reason why Joline's on the show, is that this is the person that you will communicate with through the different. How can they get a hold of you, Joline? What are the ways they can do that?
How could I serve people the best without? Obviously, I run a business. I have a lot of kids. But I want to reach out to every person that wants information, and I've had information. I've had people by request, and I'm happy to have the request. Can you talk to this person for me? Can you talk to that person for me? And I want to talk to all those people, but I'm trying to figure out what's the best way for me to get mass information out to mass number of people. And I was thinking of creating a group. Where I could have, for those that are really serious and want to have an open forum, create a Facebook group that they can join, and it could be question and answers, and I can pop on there and answer questions, and then I can do videos, and of course I'm going to share information on my personal page, but I was thinking for those people that really want to be bombarded with information, there's a place that I could do that. And I was also going to put out like a survey, because obviously like I said before, this technology thing, Facebook, Instagram, all of that is not my forte, and so
not yet.
Not yet. Is it better to do Facebook Live, or is it better to do a YouTube video and post it?
Do both.
Both of the same information, or
because YouTube does a live show now. They have a live stream, so you can YouTube Live. You can also Facebook Live. You can also Instagram Live. So, if there's a lot of information,
that's a lot to learn. Okay, I'm gonna learn one thing.
You have different areas to disseminate that. And I would suggest, your biggest group. That's where you do the long talks. And there's some of the other sites you can still do maybe the smaller clips, but it all kind of leads to the narrative that you're pushing. It's just different ways, because different age groups also are going to look at social media and use it in a different way, Twitter
right.
and all those things. But those are things we can go over
what I need, I
after.
need someone to come into my life, and I'm going to put it out there because God hears my prayers, right? I need someone to come into my life and say, I love all of that. Let me tell you exactly what to do. First, you need to do this, and then you need to do this, and then you need to do this, and this is how you do it, rather than me trying to figure it out all myself. So if that's you, please reach out to me. But no, you can private message me. I'm happy to share my number. I am going to, like I said, create a Facebook group, and people can follow it, be added to the group, add other people to the group, and it'll be a safe place where we can do question and answer. And I will be sharing stuff on my page. So friend me or follow me on my personal page, because I am going to start back working on Facebook Live videos, maybe sharing, eventually I'll get to having a website where I can just have links to all the different types of things I use. I use a specific essential oil. I use a specific superfood nutrition. I use a specific, protect yourself from the EMFs from your computer and your cell phone, because they matter. The radiation you take in, and I've done my research on these things. So, you can Google something, but you'll get 100 different companies. And it's like, well, which one do I pick? Right. So I do have a suggestion for the types of coffee you should drink, and the type of,
all of the above.
All of the above. Yes. And so I'm going to figure out how to put it all in one place to where people can chime in on that. And maybe I'll have a Zoom where like everyone's wanting me to talk to,
Zoom is, I was just going to say that, because you can put like 100 people on a Zoom internet meeting.
And I'd love to, if we have a Zoom for active cancer, people, I'm not going to give medical advice because I don't want to go against anything your doctor said, but if you're open to hearing, some options and things to support you in your journey, maybe I'll do like a cancer Zoom call where everybody can come in, and because there we can actually have a conversation, and it's not just, Facebook, me and you. But, everyone, I can share the same information to all 50 people that you should eat some greens.
Yeah. And be specific though.
Yes.
What those are.
Different calls. And say you should eat some greens, So
there you go. Do a Zoom date, because the software is free. All you got to do is download it on your smartphone,
right,
or tablet. Maybe you should create a date, or say whatever software you want to use. Create a date, then run your first talk, so to speak.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that, but thank you for helping me to think about that. I mean, like it's been going in my head, and I'm just thinking of it now. I could have a Zoom about, healing your gut. I've had a lot of people ask about that, and that's a long process. It's a minimum of 3 months, and it's intense, and it's not for the faint at heart.
I bet.
But yeah, maybe I could do a Zoom about specific.
The Zoom I want to see. The Zoom I want to see is yourself with your kids, and cost you less, going around and picking the best type of foods available. Because you did one of those. It was a video though. It was a video that you did.
Yes,
and it was in the past.
Kids, but my kids know how to read labels too. So,
okay. I thought that was.
We talk about. I mean, I don't take everything away from them, but I do. But I do things in moderation, and I just want them to make a healthier choice. And so again, my 8-year-old, she says, "Can I go to the store with Daddy, and can I buy sparkling ice?" She said sparkling ice. I thought it was one of those Italian ice things that's like, that, and I said, yeah, okay, go ahead. She comes home with this bottle, like, right. And the
it's all sugar.
There's stuff in it, and it's colored. And I don't like things with dyes and, those colored.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you have? She said, you told me I could buy it. I said, let me see that. And I said, I didn't know it was this. And she goes, but it's no sugar. She says this to me. It's no sugar. And I said, And I said, so then what makes it taste so good? So I turn it around, and it has sucralose. And I show her the bottle, and I say, okay, you see this word right here, sucralose? Sucralose is an artificial sugar. I said, don't fool you. I said, if you want something and you turn it around and you see this word sucralose, don't even come to ask me if you could have it.
Yeah.
Save yourself the no. And so they know, but they're also really, really smart. Kids are really, really smart. We went through Costco one day, and my daughter, they love cereal, and I don't like to buy cereal. And so like, Mommy, can we buy cereal? I said, no. She was like, can we buy bars? I said, no, I don't really want you to have those things. And she said, but it's organic. And I said, just because it's organic doesn't mean we should have it, right? I mean,
what's inside it? Yeah, yeah.
right. And so I said, we just want to make better choices. I said, we want a healthy choice, right? So I said, so not right now. So we're walking. 5 minutes later, she comes running to me. She finds me and she goes, Mommy, can we get fudge bars? And I said, Emilia, this is my 8-year-old again.
Yeah.
I said, fudge bars? She goes, but it's organic and it's healthy choice. I said, how do you know it's a healthy choice? She said, because it says it on the box. And then I was like, oh my gosh. So I walked to the ice cream section,
Yeah.
and sure enough, there is a fudge bar by Healthy Choice that's organic. And
wow.
you know what? She got me right there. I said, well, and then there was fudge bars that were also organic right next to it. And my 6-year-old says, but look at that one. It gives you more. It's still organic and it costs less.
And it costs less.
So
that's the one we want.
I had to give it. She found something that said Healthy Choice, and I did say that, and it was organic, and so I was like, okay, whatever.
They got you.
So we got it. You know, I don't deprive them of everything, but I do want to teach them how to make a healthier choice. So I would to do a
yeah, you're definitely aware, and the thing I wanted to hone in on, which you just explained, is there's a lot of people that do go shopping and buy things, and they don't even bother to read. And if they are reading whatever it is on the back, they may not know what it is. And again, watching what you did in that particular place you're at, Costco, whatever it was, I was like, wow, these are the different, telltale code or names that you should be on the lookout for, which makes me a better educated shopper, not only for my health, but also for moving forward and being part of the solution versus not knowing these things. And it's very I say it was real, because you guys were on your shopping cart and you're just picking up the food. You're like zooming in on it. Don't get this one. See this? And I thought that was definitely.
But I will tell you this though. I mean,
entertaining.
You do compromise for taste, right? But you got to ask yourself, taste or pain, right? Taste or pain, because inflammation brings pain. And I'll give you an example, because every now and then, if you're a woman, you crave things, right? And so one of the things I was craving just recently was taquitos. And my mom, I said, Mom, can you make some taquitos? And so she said, okay.
You're not supposed to eat that, girl.
I know. I made my brother go and buy, but you know what? I eat a piece of taquitos, right? So I made my brother go to the store, buy the ingredients for taquitos. And so she made it yesterday, and I had a piece, literally. I didn't even have a whole to myself, and I had a piece. And when I went to go get some this morning, I thought I could have another piece this morning, and there was nothing. I mean, like my kids, there's, to feed a lot of mouths, you need mass amounts. So anyways, I told him, I was like, man, there's not even any more taquitos. I just wanted to bite with my coffee, right? Yeah. And so my mom says, is there a healthier flour that we could use for taquitos? And I said, Mom, there are a lot of healthier flours, but is it going to taste like taquitos? Yeah. Taquitos that I know, and love, with a lot of grass-fed butter, right? Yeah. So not the other stuff. So if you're going to put butter on it, put grass-fed butter. So maybe we'll experiment. I said, we could buy almond flour, we can buy coconut flour, but I don't know. I'll have to ask my my aunt that I was telling you about that's blind. That's a chef. I'll tell her to experiment.
There you go. And then,
so that's just an example of sometimes you can't compromise for if you want specifically a specific taste. So.
Well, definitely more ideas on your new journey. And again, folks, you heard it today. First, the creation of Joline's page, whatever that name's gonna be, it'll be. But definitely, there's another area to go now to get great content, as well as she's gonna do her own talks, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna call me up a couple of times and say, "Hey, let's do this.
Yes.
let's talk about some things," which is definitely cool. That's why I'm doing this myself, is
Yeah. I think it's
to
also
spread the word.
yeah. So, I mean, we hadn't really talked. It's been 20 years, since we worked together,
Yeah,
18 years.
yeah,
Um, and so I think we met each other 20 years ago, and it's been 18 years since I, really was around you. So when I heard your story too, it's, everyone has a story, and
yeah,
yours needs to be told also. And it's just another prime example of how health, it has
yeah.
to be one of your number ones, so
And I'm going to tell that story on your show
that would be great. That would be
once it
out
comes
how to
up.
have a show.
So there's a couple of things you need to take note, folks. One is we have a second letter that we want to talk about to see what the message was. Then you're going to hear kind of my story, how I kind of relate to her particular situation, and
Right. And
you
while
know,
you're awesome. So
and
awesome.
it'll be fun. Obviously, I'm not as good looking as Joline, but hopefully the words that come out of my mouth will give you the same message as herself, and what she's doing, and what we're doing together as people who know each other, and have had a similar event happen in their life, that drew us together like a magnet, basically,
Yeah.
and that's how
Yeah.
that's how this thing works. And it's a sign that I saw, and that's why when I did see your talk, I reached out and said, "Hey, man, I was moved. Definitely, we need to keep this wave going, and talk about it in as many places as possible to hopefully push the positivity and other alternatives that you have in this particular realm. For from Jolin's point of view, and soon in the future, you're going to hear my point of view as well on some of the things I went through personally, that I'm still going through personally, but I'm staying strong and I'm staying positive, and you're just going to have to tune into the next show to see what that is.
Yeah. It's a journey. Journey. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. I appreciate you inviting me into your circle. And
No
I look
problem.
forward to us, getting together again. Hopefully not only through Facebook Live, you know, who knows, maybe in person one day. Um,
One day
yeah, one day. Guam,
it'll
I wish
happen.
it was just around the corner and not across the world. But
That's
too, I
right.
have there's an tomorrow morning, which would be morning for me. So I'm on East Coast time. So tomorrow morning, if you're on East Coast time at 7:30 a.m., I will be doing a Facebook Live I'll be on somebody else's Facebook Live. They invited me and asked me to share. Again, I don't know. There's no agenda.
Nice,
Nothing
nice.
specific I'm going to share. It may be different from what you heard here, but that'll
Yeah.
be 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. If you're on Guam and want to tune in, it will be 9:30 at night, 9:30
Okay.
p.m. tomorrow. Is that right? Or no, tonight.
Wednesday, it'll be a Wednesday for you,
Right.
Thursday night for us.
Are you sure?
I think so.
No, no, no. It'll be Wednesday night for
Because right
yeah.
now
It'll be
it's
Wednesday night.
one. Okay.
It'll be Wednesday night. So
Just put a date to it. then we'll be secure. So just post it on your site. That this is the date. Then you can tag it also on this stream. This is the date. This is the time, and we can get the word out. But you said the next Wednesday
well,
or
it's
Thursday?
in less than 12 hours.
Oh,
It's in
so it's
less than
tomorrow.
12 hours. So
Oh, my
it'll
bad.
be it'll be 7:30 tomorrow morning for me, which is Wednesday morning, and it'll be 9:30 at night Wednesday night for you. So it's just tonight for you guys. I'll
Gotcha.
be
Okay.
on Facebook
Okay.
Live with somebody who also takes the superfood nutrition that I do, and she actually lives in Buffalo, New York, and she's opening up a business where she's going to be offering IV therapies,
Okay.
nutritional IV therapies, and she's really into holistic healing and natural things. And so I'll be speaking on her page. Yeah,
It's
and
all
it may be
connecting. It's
totally
all
different.
connecting. Yeah.
So, join in on that. If you're a follower of my personal page, I think you'll see the live come on.
Yeah.
So follow me on my page,
Send
Joline.
Joline a friend
So,
request. And once
yeah.
you get that friend request, it'll automatically, once she approves it, it'll automatically put you as a follower. And also, coming soon is her own particular page that she's going to create. So
Coming.
awesome.
Yes.
Awesomeness. Your live talk, the next one, is that off a personal page or is that off a business page?
The one for tomorrow morning for me,
Yeah.
it's a personal page. Personal.
Okay. So for your personal page, you can actually, before you start it, you can tag a bunch of people. So tag me on your show. Then basically that stream will go to my timeline as well.
Okay,
So
now you're
that
talking foreign language to me.
well, we can talk about it after
Okay.
the show, but you can actually add other people so we can stream out to, but only on personal pages. You can't do that on a basic, like a business page. It's
Okay.
just whatever's there. But yeah,
Personal page.
it's
Okay.
it's it's uh it's working, Jolene. The word is spreading, and again, great hearing those stories. This is not the end, folks. We'll talk some more, but definitely a start. And I think I definitely want to thank you for sharing those things, and the different ways we can get in touch with you, and the questions that you have, and the things that you do. Is there any kind of special shout outs you want to give out to maybe your family that may be watching, or other ways to get a hold of you?
Well, you can always call me. My number is 706-394-2947. I'm also on WhatsApp, Joline Unpinko. I think that's what my name is under there. I'm on Facebook, Joline Taitagui Unpinko. You can find me under the friends, under James as a friend. I will say one shout out. My mom messaged during this particular live, and how on your phone you can see the messages that are coming in.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember exactly, but she says, "Wow, I never knew that you had a letter. This is the first I'm hearing." My
Whoa.
mom to hear my letter via Facebook Live. That
Wow.
was, I
Special.
haven't really shared it, so um, you know, uh, I'm just so happy to share. I see my husband's cousin just chimed in. Ralph, hey Ralph. He actually visited with me when I was in the Philippines. He flew out with my mother-in-law, and we did our little celebration of being cancer free. So he's hey Ralph.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Limtiaco Auto Lube. Go get their car done at Limtiaco Auto Lube. So,
Limtiacos.
and he was definitely there to experience the what I call my little miracle. So
Excellent, excellent. Well, again, everybody tuning in. There are two parts of the show today. This is part number two. There's part number one also, and there'll be other sessions. There'll be other sessions coming, from what you expect from the Howard Experience show, as well as Jolene, who's going to start her side of
yes,
pushing
I remember
the message.
I need someone to show themselves and say, "That's all fun and easy for me. Let me help you."
Exactly, exactly. And and,
Some,
and I definitely can be one of those people as well
okay,
to
good,
help you. But you know that already. You know that already.
good,
Come
good.
on. If there's other helpers though, great. The more the merrier.
More
And
the merrier. Yes.
again, there's different types of technology we're going to use to expand this conversation. We just talked about this particular software that I've talked about in some of the other episodes of the show is Zoom software. It's actually free, definitely for your tablets or your smartphones. And this will be another way to have a bigger forum of other people who want this particular information, that are passionate about it and motivated. And again, like you saw today, you're going to hear it from a person that has experienced uh, this, as well as the different solutions that she has that worked for herself. And again, at the end of the day, everybody's different, but the moral of the story is it can be done. And Jolene's a great example of that, and what she's doing to push that message, and heal others. And I think that's fantastic, and I'm really moved with the things that we talked about today. So thank you very much. We'll give you a big round of applause. Everybody out there, give her a big round of applause, just like that.
I have to learn to accept that. Thank you, James. I really would, though this is easy, this Facebook Live. No, it's not. It hasn't been easy for me. But what I mean is, I can just jump on my phone. What I would really love is to be in front of, I would like to see faces in front of me. So I really would love to spread the message that, God told me to spread in an actual live group setting. So
nice.
If anybody wants to
I'm there.
Live group
I'll
setting,
buy a ticket.
You will? Okay, fly me to Guam, and I'll be there. And so,
hey, can happen. Can happen.
Yeah,
come on,
people,
come on, people out there. You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Guess what? Let's get those calls going.
Debbie says, speak at churches. I'm open because I know what he's asking me to do, and it's to give a testimony to him and healing and his love. And so I'm open to speaking at churches if invited. So have to be invited first. I don't think I'm going to go knocking on any doors and say, but I'm excited. And now that I've stopped the resistance, I'm really excited to speak and be in front of people and say, hope, love, God, faith, it's all there,
Yes.
And there for everyone, not any special specific person, because, in the same way with the cancer diagnosis, it's not why me or why not me or whatever. It's there for everyone. So.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you, everybody. And again, this is the Howard Experience Show, session number 9 with Joline and Pinko. We're going to cut it for today. Well, honestly, definitely a great feeling that I'm going to walk away with, and again, share the information. Be tuning in for more shows coming up on the Howard Experience, as well as maybe doing some follow up later with Joline in her realm, or back here on the show at a later date. So once again, thanks for everybody in Guam that's watching. Right now it's almost lunchtime, as well as people out there in Georgia. It's almost 9:30 for you, something like that?
It's 10 o'clock, so it's
10 o'clock
for other people. Oh, I got to go to sleep really fast, and
you got to go to sleep.
Or 7:30 in the morning.
Well, again, thank you very much, Joline, and we'll see you next time. And everybody out there watching, we'll see you next time as well. Remember, tune in to all the shows, and don't forget to free your mind. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Have a good night.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.